Easton Cowan. It just reminds me of like the next best prospect for the Maple Leafs. And I understand the media plays an impact in this, but like they're talking about this kid like he's the second coming. It's very early on in training camp. He's looked good. It's a great story, but there's no chance he makes this team, right?
No, not this year. And that's expected. I think he expects that. But to me, I mean, it was just a couple months ago. Nobody, I mean, he wasn't part of the organization at all. We draft him first round, late first round pick. And now all of a sudden he's making noise and people are saying positive things. I mean, that's all you can ask at that level. This kid comes from the Ontario Hockey League. He's playing against boys. And then, he gets chucked into her this year at camp and flourishes, stands out, opens people's eyes. That's as much as you can ask for a guy that just got drafted a few months ago to come in and play with essentially men at a higher level. I know it's exhibition, I know it's camp, but this isn't the Ontario Hockey League. He comes in and he stands out. And all that tells anyone that has anything to do with this team is that this kid is high quality. He is a high prospect, and there is nothing but potential for this guy. I think it needs to end there, and people need to
Yeah.
temper expectations because it wouldn't be the first time that this market has put a guy up on a pedestal and then tore him down as soon as he didn't become the second coming. And that's not fair to that kid at all. So all you can say is hats off to you. You've done exactly what you've been asked to do and what people could expect of you. And it's a good start to a kid's career that I imagine is going to span a long time.
To me, it's a win all around. So, like, first and foremost, he was outstanding. In fact, he stood out at the Traverse City Prospect Tournament. Now he's excelling in preseason games, which has awarded him more time. And the fact that he doesn't have to go back to junior just yet, he's practicing with sort of the big boys on the roster, which is always good. I know the Leafs took a bit of heat for taking him, maybe jumping early at 28th overall, but very least it solidifies that, hey, maybe they made the right pick. And again, it's very early on. And the other thing for me is like I'm always thinking about trades. As you know, hell, I have a shirt. Somebody makes a someone make a trade. I think down the road it only helps to solidify something when it comes to the trade perspective from outside, watchers. The fact that maybe you can use an Easton Cowan to go out there and get a top four defenseman. Like I'm not saying for sure they're going to trade this guy, but I do think it's a win all around if he plays well.
So this guy just got drafted, stands out well, and you're talking about dishing him, hey?
Well, okay, so people, you got to look at that. You got to look at it from all perspectives. Who do the Leafs have? Okay, so everybody wants that top four defenseman. If they're not going to trade Nylander, who are they giving up to get that? Like, are teams just donating these guys to them, or
Not at all. And I see where you're coming from, man. And it is a piece. It's just an extra piece that we didn't have a few months ago when we were in the same boat. Now we've got a piece. Do you wrap something like that up? I mean, what's Nick Robertson going to be?
yeah,
Who's rebuilding? Who wants these prospects? Teams that have been high and mighty and are kind of backing off now, and some of their guys are getting older and moving on. And now all of a sudden it's like, let's get something in the woodworks here so that in 2 years we're rocking and rolling again. I mean, some of these deals that can be put together, yes, and those top four defensemen are not come around all the time. Maybe a sprinkle piece would be one of those prospects, but absolutely, it's another piece in the arsenal that can be used to get what we need right now. Now's the time for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I'm just teasing you. I don't think that it's a problem to get rid of a prospect like that because now's the time. You can't split yourself too thin and say, oh, well, we're going to kind of try to win this year.
yeah.
But also, we want Easton Cowan because in 2 years, he could be good. It's like, are you doing it or not? And I'm not saying sell everything in the kitchen sink, but I mean, you got to move pieces to get pieces. And he could be in the conversation for sure, especially now that he's kind of made some noise.